The absolute best fucking intro in the business. What's up, guys? Mic Cuddles, episode 10. The red light is on. That's Gillian the Savage Robertson. And we did say, we said we're finally going to have our first guest of the show. We just have like family member of Mic Cuddles, Hannah Goldy. What's up, Hannah?
You know, just chilling.
Yep.
I was gonna say good, like my 5-year-old. I like seriously had to stop myself. I'm like, good, don't say it.
Don't say it. Don't say good or sure. Don't say sure.
Well, like when you say what's up, you're like good. I'm like, okay. Nice.
What's up, Gillian? How are you?
I'm excited. It's episode 10, and obviously we have our great guest who is getting her lunch done right now.
I love eating. It's that flyweight shit. It's fight at 125. I guess let's just kind of jump into that. That's like it is such a cool big fight. It's going to be such a good card. It's like already getting so much pub. The last card, like me and Jillian talked about it, like it was literally bigger than the pay-per-views. The crowd was so big and Dana White had so much fun. And of course, Patty and Molly did their thing. So like the card was bigger than fucking pay-per-views. And now this time you're fighting one of those people who made those moments. That's big. Like that's got to be so much fun. This has got to be a great camp, a motivating camp of like just this opportunity. Like this is a moment. This is a big one.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a huge opportunity and I'm super grateful for it. And I feel like it's like my first like big UFC experience, you know, like
yeah.
I'm assuming I think we'll probably be on the main card. Yeah. Probably. So
I think you're the featured. You'll be the featured fight.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm just super grateful for like the whole experience. Like thinking about it, I'm just like, I just get super fucking excited. I'm like, I get to go to London and like fight a bitch and like, this is fucking dope as shit. Like it's cool. Like I get to live this life and that's fucking awesome. And I'm super excited for the matchup too. You know, I think like this is really going to be that fight for me where like, I start to feel comfortable and like I know Molly's like a fun ass bitch too, and I think it's gonna be a fun time. Like I think it's gonna be good for sure. I think we're gonna make 50K.
I think so too.
No, I'm like when you called me with this fight, I was so excited for this matchup, and like you said, even on UFC London, the matchups that are getting on the card, right? Like I know Patty Pimblett got matched up with Jordan Levitt, and I'm like that if Jordan gets up and twerks like on UFC London, like that's just gonna be something else. I'm like, hey, you gotta get your own thing after. What are you gonna do?
Well, I feel like I'm not gonna be able to twerk as well as him. So, we've been coming up with some fun stuff at the gym. I'll have to show you the next time we train together, Julian. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll like it.
Top secret.
Yeah, it's definitely top secret. But who knows? Maybe I'll take some twerking classes between now and then, and you know, break it out. Who knows?
There you go. Could be a double twerk night with Jordan Levitt and Hannah Goldy. But let's kind of talk more.
Patty and him though, they've been on some shit.
Yeah, they're going at it.
Yeah, they've been on some shit.
They've been going at it, and so like to me, it's going to be the exact opposite. That you just mentioned it. Jillian and I talked about it, like everything that I hear from afar. And like, of course, Jillian knows so much about this. Like Molly's been a super, she's an awesome chick. And how does it feel to kind of have, in a weird way, like you guys are going to be good. Like you're going to have like a fun week. And I know it's a fight and I know it's serious fucking business and it's going to hand a win that night is just huge for your career going forward. I know you know this. So it's like, but how does it feel to like not even to be with no drama bullshit or no, backstabbing stuff, because Molly is a cool chick.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like her and I are similar in that sense. Like, I mean, y'all know me. Like, I've never been like a shit talker. Like, I've generally been friends with everybody that I fought after I fought them, like to some extent, or like been cool and cordial with them. So it's like, to me, like I never like have to hate my opponent or like feel any type of way towards them. Like if anything, like I just feel respect towards them because they signed a contract to fucking stand in the octagon, across from me. So like I have to respect that. But yeah, like obviously Jillian's one of my best friends. Like if she says that Molly's good people, like I trust her judgment and character, and like she has my respect, like really, I mean, because of that also as a fighter, but like if you're good people, then I fuck with you. And I think it's going to be a fun week and a fun night and a great experience for both of us.
G?
I don't know where to go from that.
We have so many questions. So Hannah, before you got on, Gillian and I were talking about it. Like when we posted like the story of like ask Hannah or Gillian something, it went good, and then you shared it, Gillian shared it. Like, dude, it was the stupidest amount of people asking stuff. Of course, 1/3 of it we can't like ask on this wavelength, but we can fucking talk about a lot of the shit. So we'll definitely ask some real good, funny questions. So there's some good, legit questions in there, but like there's a ton of stuff.
I have a feeling some of them are probably going to involve the word tequila.
Maybe a couple. There's actually 1 or 2 in there. The picture that I used was from you guys from your birthday combined weekend. So there was a little bit maybe of tequila that weekend, I think.
Tiny bit. Not much.
Tiny bit. Oh, Hannah froze on us with a smile. I thought she was just smiling.
I say she froze at the perfect point.
Yo.
Wait, can you still? Okay.
There you go.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Someone called you?
It's fucking storming here, man. It's gnarly outside. My power just went out.
Damn. Well, hopefully we can do this. Yeah, you're kind of glitchy, but let's just roll. Let's oh no, last thing. UFC 275 this weekend. 2 phenomenal female fights. I would love both of you girls take real quick on it, then we ask all the questions. JoJo and Wei Li and Valentina and Santos. Maybe Gillian will not be rooting for Santos. I don't know why. Maybe not. Dude, look how thunder it is. Or like I think she just lost power.
Honestly, that's been the struggle like all week long. I feel like I want to say this is how Floridian I am. Don't know, but want to say there's a tropical storm nearby.
I know that every other day there's gonna be a tropical storm. You don't even know.
I was gonna say, being Floridian, I feel like it's like, oh shit, there's a hurricane we're supposed to get in a couple days. Like you never really know until it's happening. So like it's been like that all week, just thundering, lightning, terrible all down this way.
Hannah, I'll bring you down and then I'll bring you back up when hopefully the power comes on or whatever. A fun game if you want to have a fun Saturday night. Anytime you see Hannah Goldy, Gillian Robertson in the Santos Valentina, like
getting elbowed in the face.
They always throw that one fucking elbow. And it's like, God dang it, that's the nose. That's the nose.
I remember that one elbow.
But like, what do you think? Does she have a shot? Does she have 0 shot? Should it be a good fight, or do you think just it's a Valentina show?
It's really hard to say, honestly. I feel like obviously Valentina's Valentina, but at this point in the division, if anybody has a shot, it's Tyler.
Oh, really?
I feel like she's probably the most primed at this moment for that title shot and like closest to Valentina. But Valentina's she's flawless, you know? Like she very rarely makes a mistake. But I feel like Tyler just has, I don't know. I feel like Tyler might be, I don't know. Part of me honestly wants Tyler to win this. I want to see the division mixed up. I want to see, I want to see it happen. So I'm like, a large part of me just wants to see her pull it off, but it's like Valentina's just Valentina.
For sure. I think we see Hannah coming back. I got another Santos thing about you too, was like, and gee, you know how much I think of you as a fighter and just as a person and all that shit. But like, just tell me if I'm off or tell me if I'm onto something. I don't think you were that, like, you and Santos wasn't a 95-5. Like, we've seen some fights, like you see some fights and it's like, wow, wasn't your night, didn't go your way, him or her, even other fights. That fight was a lot closer than what people, I think, even remember the fight. I think they can go to the score and be like, oh, wow, Santos won, whatever. But like, there's like, didn't you have you had an arm bar really fucking tight, or was it a rear naked? I think in the second round, you had some kind of submission really tight. I feel like you and Santos are a lot closer than what people think. Am I off?
Yeah, maybe. It was also my first time dealing with a cut and so much blood, and especially blood, like being right here. People don't realize how much blood goes into your eyes at that moment. So I'm like, it was just a new element for me in general dealing with in that fight as well. I feel like,
yeah.
I literally, like, in this, I remember the second round, I literally couldn't see anything at all. I remember looking up at the lights, and it was just, like, a blur. Like, I just saw, like, the bright lights vaguely. But it was, like, everything else, I was completely, like, blinded because I just had so much blood in my eyes. Everything was so blurry. So, like, I definitely don't think she's, like, that much better than me. I think that element of the fight, her landing that one clean elbow, definitely made a huge play in it and changed the game. But I feel like it goes for anybody who I've fought before. I'm down for the rematch, you know?
Right. This is
almost had our first guess.
I know this is so Gillian and myself. This is I think we got her. Yo!
I came outside, but like the rain's so fucking loud, I can barely.
Holy shit, look at that. I just said, like, this is Gillian and I. This is it. Like, to have our first guest and we get her, and it's you're in a hurricane.
It's not.
We'll try. If not, like, we'll do the questions and see if we can get you back. Hannah, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, let's try. Let's do some of these questions, all right? They go, okay. First one. For Gillian, what's your favorite indica? And it goes for Hannah, do you smoke?
For me, my favorite indica, I get it from Trulieve in Florida here at Medical Dispensary. It is called Mandarin Dream, and it's probably my favorite flower out of anything. Like, I'm just in love with the flavor of it. It's really, like, citrusy, and I feel like, honestly, I've never found a flower that has tasted as good as that. So I'm like, that's 100% my favorite.
Okay. How about you, Hannah?
Do I smoke?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you?
I partake occasionally.
Okay.
In the use of marijuana, yeah, I do. I eat more edibles than I do smoke. Like, I enjoy, like, the act of smoking, but I just like how fucked up I get off edibles. I feel like nothing.
The gummies are where it's at.
Yeah, the gummies are where it's at for sure. For me, it's funny. Yeah, like I used to. Like, I remember there was a point in time where, like, Gillian would come to training high, and I'd be like, oh, my gosh, you're crazy. Like, I could never train high, and now I feel like I can't train, like, not high. Like, I can't go to the gym. I'm like, everything hurts. Like,
I think, like, the last, like, 3 times. I think, like, the last, like, 3 times I came to Fusion, Hannah's been like, hey, you want a gummy?
I'm like, gummies for everyone.
And I would assume that Gillian never says no.
Never.
No.
Nope. I can't think of a time that Gillian's ever said no to me about anything, really.
Next one, they go, who wins in a tickle fight between you two?
Who what?
Who would win in a tickle fight?
Oh, God, me.
Oh, God.
No, actually,
I feel confident.
I feel like Gillian would, because I feel like I'm more ticklish than you.
I'm actually not ticklish at all.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that, she said.
Besides getting punched, what's the worst part of being a fighter? Travel, public figure, what's the worst part?
I say getting punched is probably the easiest part.
I know. That's what I was going to say, too. I'm like, I feel like that's not the worst part at all.
Wow. So, yeah,
like, getting punched isn't that bad. I'm like, it's the travel and the media and all that shit. For me, it's media, because I hate having to, like, get, like, dressed, look like a girl, do shit like that. Like, I just like to be at the gym getting punched in the face. So it's like, that's the easy shit.
I think for me, it's probably, like, the time and, like, time away from Odin. You know, that's really tough for me. It's hard for me to balance that sometimes, you know, especially when I'm in camp and I have to train more. But at the end of the day, like, it's a job, you know, like, I'm fortunate that I don't have to work a 9 to 5, you know. Some people, like, that's what they do every single day. Like, I have flexibility and, like, you know, but yeah, definitely time spent away from him is probably the hardest for me.
Agree. And Hannah, how funny is it that, like, Gillian's like, the worst part is about, like, the media and commentary. Now, Gillian Robertson is commentating on Island Fights and doing podcasts every week. She's like halfway part of the media.
She's so good at talking and doing interviews. She's way better than she thinks she is. She doesn't give herself enough credit for anything, though. I tell her that all the time.
Agree.
For me, I feel like I've done it a lot now, so I'm like slowly getting better at it. But it's still the fact of it. I like it's probably like the biggest thing, like where it's like, okay, I have to do this. Like you have to push yourself to do this. You have to push yourself to talk to people. You have to push yourself to like be out there a little bit more. And I'm like, that's like the hardest part for me.
But you out there doing it, girl. You out there doing it.
Yeah,
And that's
she
what
is.
Who trying?
This is a good one. They go, you're both adorable and scary at the same time. They go, Gillian, we know about you, about Rob being in your life. They go, Hannah, do you have a dog?
I have two. I have Jax. He's a Pomeranian. He was my firstborn. He's a grumpy old man now. He's pushing 12, and he just fucking growls at everything. And then I have Tata. She's a Frenchie. She just turned a year old in May. And yeah, so her and Jax fucking hate each other. So they just like, well, Tata loves Jax. Like Tata just like runs around the house. Like you guys have both seen it. Like fucking chasing after him, just wants to play with him. And Jax is just like, fuck off, bitch. Like, please get away from me. But yeah, so two.
Two. Okay. Next one we go. What's both of yours? What's your favorite movie?
I don't know.
I feel like it depends on, for me, like I'll go through phases. Like sometimes I'll like Wanderlust is up there for me. Get Hard is up there for me. Will Ferrell, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Why Him is up there for me. Like I think just anything like comedy, like stupid comedy is.
I feel like I'm not a huge movie person, so like most of the movies that I feel like are like my favorites are things that like remind me of my childhood. I'm like, one of them, like it was a huge movie for my grandpa and for my mom was The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's always been one of my favorites just because I'm like, it was such a huge part of my childhood.
There you go. Okay.
Every time I put a movie on, whenever Jillian comes over, I'm like, what do you want to watch? She's like, I don't. I feel like we always put on Step Brothers. Like Step Brothers is always playing. In the
I was gonna say that. I
We
feel
just
like
become
that's
best
how it
friends.
always ends up.
Yeah, and we're either both on our phones or we're like talking, not paying attention to like what we're watching at all. Like I feel like we've tried to watch so many movies and we're just like, nope,
Doesn't work.
Yeah. This is a good one. What's the biggest misconception about you being a fighter?
What do you think, Hannah?
That's a good one.
I think that's like an individual thing, right? Because like everybody kind of has a presence, like whether it's on social media or, you know, like the way that like somebody presents themselves leading up to fights or whatever. So I think that everybody has like set like presumptions on like how we are, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's definitely an individual thing. I don't know, like I think like the smoking weed for a long time, like I don't think a lot of people thought that I smoked because I wasn't as open about it. Like I'm just using this as an example because we were talking about it. And like whenever I tell anybody or whenever anybody finds out like how much of a stoner I am, they're like, "Really? That's fucking crazy!" And you fight in the UFC and like you're a professional athlete and you smoke weed, and I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I smoke a lot of weed." So I feel like that's a big one sometimes for people. I don't know. What do you think?
And real quick, just to jump in on that, if you don't think that every fucking basketball player, every NBA player doesn't smoke weed, or like the best football players in the world, especially in the off, like, come on, guys, like it's 2022, like,
or like that, like, or like people assume that like I eat healthy 99% of the time, and I'm like, oh, it is so far the opposite. Like, I literally eat like, I mean, obviously I train hard, but I eat like shit. Like, I eat like shit all the time. Like, I feel like just those stereotypical assumptions that people make about like athletes in general. But
I was gonna say just a stereotypical one for like female fighters that like every guy's like, oh, I want to date a female fighter because that's gonna be so cool. But they don't realize that half the time I'm sweaty and bitchy.
half. Yeah, for real.
Oh shit! He said
Point taken. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
But it's about finding the ones that love that about you. You know.
Very true.
So.
Very true. Couple good ones. Hey, I'm telling you, there's so many questions. It's insane. We're already 20 minutes in. We won't go that much longer. They go, if you had another career other than fighting, what would you guys be doing?
Honestly, like growing up, my two careers that I wanted to be is first when I was really young, I wanted to be an art teacher. And then once I started getting a little bit older, I started volunteering with animals a lot. So I wanted to be a vet. So it's like those were always my two, like the two things that I always like dreamed of being whenever I was little. And
Hannah? And Batman here?
I was gonna say, is she there?
Oh man, we did it. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, when I was younger, and I feel like I said this on social media before, so we'll see if anybody remembers. I always wanted to be a champion. That was like
Wow.
Yeah, dude, great answer. We'll try it again. It's like it's bumping, and she is literally in a hurricane. It's crazy.
Welcome to Florida.
We'll do a couple more with Jess. Oh, I think she's got it. I can like see her. You good?
I'm good. I haven't moved. I swear.
All right. Your answer was phenomenal, by the way. I
appreciate it.
They go first. The most important question: would you guys do you date fighters, or would you rather date non-fighters?
I feel like every like female fighter, like ideally they're like, oh, I want to be with a fighter where gets the lifestyle, just because it's like I don't like I said, we're in something completely different. I'm rolling around on the floor for hours a day with sweaty men. Like a lot of guys don't understand that, but it's like also like we're crazy, and then why do we need another crazy? So it's like dating a fighter is gonna be hard no matter what.
Right.
Agreed, for sure. I think, but I do think like it really is more about like the personality of the person, and like how like compatible you are like on other levels, right? Because like being a fighter isn't like who we are; it's what we do,
Right.
But there's obviously like ways to like communicate and progress like in a relationship, even if both of you are, right? So I think it just depends on the personality. Because I'm way more of like a vibes person, obviously. Like I am into athletes, and I'm into somebody who like takes care of themselves, because I'm always in the gym and like whatever. Like that is definitely something that's important to me. But also like the way you make me feel like on an emotional level is way more important than like how well you can punch somebody in the face, So
right.
I think it's a give and take. Like I said, there's pros and cons to both for sure. Like being able to understand what we go through on some level is helpful, but also like if you have somebody who's caring and compassionate anyways, like they should be able to understand that even if they don't fight, or at least like give you what you need, So
right. And like what you said there is so true. And like I'm gonna like kind of double down on this, right? That's from afar, like me and not a fighter. So like Gillian, you have literally UFC records. Like everyone knows you. You're like, and I know you don't want to like hear this, but like people know you as a famous UFC fighter. So say like if you walk into a room, they know you. Hannah, you're about your career, and they know you as a UFC fighter, like as a big deal, right? To a lot of people. And I know that you don't like, I don't want to make you blush, but like they know you guys. When was the last time, Hannah, you fought? Did you fight in 2022?
No. It's 2022
and Gillian,
right
you
now.
fought once, right? In 2022?
No, I fought twice in 2021.
Right.
It's 2022 right now, right?
Right. Like my point is like they like know you as like just as a fighter, but like you guys are so much more than just fighters. Like with Hannah being a mom, and Gillian just like it was so much more about your person and personality and stuff. It's like so crazy that everyone like that's probably like the misconception. I would say like they just think like you're like just tunnel vision, like all you do is fight, but you do have more stuff in your life. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's easy, like with social media in particular, but like any famous person. Like, it's easy for me to like think about like who The Rock is as a person, right? Like, I like see him in movies and I'm like, oh yeah, like that's who he is. Like, I don't fucking know him. Like, I don't know like who he is. Like, you just know, like, literally all you know about somebody like on social media or in that aspect is like what they decide to show you. And like, let me fucking tell you, people decide to show you this much of who they actually are, bro. Like, you're not, but, and that could go either way, right? Like, somebody could be like a fucking awesome person that like you had like a bad taste in your mouth about because of some post they fucking made on Instagram, you know? Or like people could be like, you could be a big piece of shit, but like act like you're fucking Mother Teresa. So it's like, you don't know. Like,
Right. Next one, they go, would you ladies ever do a photo shoot together?
yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised we haven't.
I know. I feel like, no, we were supposed to when we went somewhere like that. Oh, we were supposed to in Mexico.
Oh, yeah, in Cancun. Yeah.
But we didn't end up doing it. We should. We need to plan that.
We ended up taking tequila shots instead.
Yeah.
Probably.
We're like, this
probably
is the
idea.
better option for us. This is who we are now.
Oops.
Probably good. This is like a fun, crazy one. They go, would Hannah be in Gillian's wedding if she gets married, and would Gillian be in Hannah's wedding if Hannah gets married?
I think Hannah's like my only girlfriend, so I think she'd have to be.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
I mean, I don't have many best friends, so yes, I would say that Gillian would have to be too, and I need a redhead, obviously.
They go, so the picture that I did on the story was from your birthday, both of your birthday day weekend, and they go, were you guys high during that picture?
No, never.
Come on. What? What does that mean? What's high?
I'm above that.
Okay.
I'm way high above that.
That answers that. They go, who wins the sparring sessions between you two?
Depends where we're starting.
I feel like me and Hannah, like, there's nobody who will just like sit in the pocket and fucking bang with me like Hannah will. Like, no, like our sparring rounds, nobody's taking a step back. We're just standing there.
And also, I feel like nobody else is sparring around us. Everyone's like watching us in a circle, and then like we end and we're like laughing, and they're like, "Are you guys friends?" And we're like, "Yeah, we love each other."
Yeah.
Like, you guys don't hate each other after that?
Holy crap.
But like, I don't have very many females that I can do that with, you know. So like, I treasure those rounds because like, it's fun. It's fun to like be able to train with somebody hard, but like not feel like you're at risk for getting injured, right? Because that's also always the fucking shit. Like, especially being a female and being smaller, it's like it's hard to find training partners that you can fucking go hard with, but that you trust at the same time. So I'm always grateful for the work that I get with G.
Love it. Funny, like I said, well, there's so many more questions, but we went 25, 28 minutes already. There's a hurricane. So I have one funny question. I've never thought about this until now, just with all these other questions and just kind of going back and forth. If the UFC, you know, when Hannah beats Molly Mccann via rear naked choke in the second round, and then Gillian wins 3 fights in a row, and then Hannah fights again. If the UFC ever called each other about each other in a 125-pound fight, would you guys ever fight each other in the UFC?
Like, for me, it's like a fight's a fight. Like, I still love Hannah no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter. Like that wouldn't matter to me.
Yeah. I honestly, like, I don't think that they would ever even approach us with that.
Yeah, I don't think it would happen, honestly,
like,
though.
Yeah.
I'm like, but for me, it's like, that's business, and this is, like, outside of it, you know?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's so crazy. I never thought of that. And like, Hannah, right away, Joey's like, yeah, fuck it, we'll fight. Why?
I mean,
we pretty much do, like, at Fusion when we spar, so it's like, it doesn't really, like,
just get paid for it.
Might as well make 40 and 40.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, if they're fucking... Right, I'm definitely signing a new contract, though. They're definitely paying me more money to fight your ass.
I love it. Awesome. Yeah, we'll roll out. Hannah, appreciate you. You're definitely absolute family to Gillian and myself. So you had to be the first guest, episode 10. Yeah, just any last things like I know we kind of talked about it already, but like any last things about Molly and about, a huge card. It's literally around the corner, be here fast. And like, how excited are you to travel in London? And was that something like, oh, hell yeah. Like, are you looking forward to it? If you can just kind of wrap a bow on the Molly McCann fight.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been more excited for an opportunity in my life. I feel like this is literally the biggest opportunity that I've ever had. And again, like, it was a bit daunting at first, I'm not gonna lie, because especially coming off being sick, like, and not being able to fight Jin, like, I didn't think that I was going to get this opportunity.
Yeah.
So I think I was a little bit taken aback at first and kind of like, damn. And then I was like, fuck, like, this is fucking dope. Like, I'm so grateful and blessed. And like, there's a lot of other girls that could have gotten this fight, and I fucking got it. And like, I'm about to like show, like, I feel like I'm a different fighter every time I fight, or every camp I go through. I feel like I'm a different fighter, but I really do feel like this is my time. Like, everything happens for a reason. I feel like it's my time.
I love it. I agree. Hannah Goldy versus Molly McCann. That's gonna be insane. I think main event: Curtis Blades, Tom Aspinall, Darren Till, Jack Hermanson in the co-main. Patty's on the card. Love it. Let's get you outside of the hurricane. Hannah, you're the best. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Love you guys.
Later.
Thank you.
Jillian, that was it. We did it. Episode 10, Hannah Goldy.
So awesome to have our first guest.
I know. Like, come on. Not a lot of people can literally have a guest through a hurricane and make it happen. Like that. I think we get like brownie points for that.
Exactly. No, we have to.
And like, I don't mean the regular brownies. I mean like the good brownie points. There you go. That's why I get paid the big bucks. All right. That's why I get paid the big bucks. Next week, episode 11, UFC 275, a couple of days away. I'm so excited. JoJo and Wei Li, I'm so pumped for that fight. I think it's going to be insane. And I think in a weird way, they know it's only 3 rounds. Like, I think it might even be more aggressive than the first time. And if you think that, that's insane. Valentina and Santos, it's your championship. It's the flyweight division. It's that's got to be very intriguing to you. And we never even talked about this, and we'll kind of end it maybe with this. Are you with the 42-year-old, the great story in Glover Teixeira to retain, or are you with this savage of a challenger? Yuri looks devastating. That knockout to Dominic Reyes was scary. Are you on Glover or Prohazic?
I don't know what to think of Yuri, because I'm like, every time he fights, like, he probably has like the ugliest fighting style, but he pulls shit off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, how does it happen? How is it working? Like, he just goes in there and it's like, you see it, you're like, oh, that looks terrible. Like, he's not going to be able to do anything. And then like, he gets like some huge knockout and like pulls it together. I don't know. Like, he just has such an awkward style. I feel like that also might be why he's doing so well, because people don't know what to see. Like, when that's coming at you, it's just different than what you're normally seeing. And it's hard to train for something like that.
So true.
I gotta go with Glover though. Like, I'm just like, you can't not respect that. He's 42 years old and he's out there fucking killing it.
I know. And so 2 things. One, about the Yuri thing. Like, I think you nailed it. You absolutely killed it. Like, Anderson Silva, John Jones, you can even argue Khabib. Like, their styles are so different from anyone else. Like, everyone says until you feel Khabib on you, you really don't know how it feels. Anderson and how he kicked and his legs and lanky, like it's crazy. So like, you can't train for Yuri. Like, you can only just be in there. He's not a boxing type. He's not a traditional wrestler. It's pretty crazy. But like, back to the Glover thing, and like, I don't know if you're watching the embeddeds or the countdowns. Like, Glover Teixeira looks like a kid in a candy store. He's like taking selfies with Santos and with Joanna. He's like wrestling Mike Brown over there. Like, he's just having fun. And like, there's this weird way. And I talked to Lydia Warren early about it today. Like, just to be so loose and like no pressure and to have fun. And like, how much skill or how much technique he's already took in he's been a mixed martial artist for over 20 years. Yeah. Like, he doesn't need to learn, armbar. Like, he has all the skills. It's just having that mindset going into it. So it's crazy. I'm rooting for Glover. I'm a Glover guy. I've talked to him multiple times. He's been on the show. So I'm rooting for Glover. I'm a pro Glover guy.
A lot of times that can just be it too. It's just going out there and having fun. Like, that's a huge part of the sport. I feel like that people don't even you don't think about when you're going into a fight. Like, going out, you got to go out there and have fun. But it's like, you have to go out there and enjoy every single minute of what you're doing.
Dude, I know we were just about to end it. Literally someone that you know and I think you like a lot, Juliana Millers, hit me up. You want me to see if she wants to come on right now?
Sure, if you can, yeah, sure.
Two guests in one time. Let's see.
She had a fucking killer fight on top of
That
this
fight was so insane. It was great. Let's see.
I'm like watching her, and like, I feel like there's just no one tougher than her that I've seen. Like, I've watched her compete grappling a couple times. I've been on the same card as her a couple times on grappling shows, and like, to see her, like, that's actually the first time I've ever watched her fight MMA. But she is just so tough.
Yeah, like she just the first round probably didn't go her way. Like, yeah, the first round didn't, the second round didn't. That's why they went to a third. But she just like kept going forward, and she has like same thing. I watched her in Invicta, but to me, she fought different. She needs like 10 minutes. I won't read her text. But okay, probably doesn't work.
But yeah, I'm like, whenever she stood up at the end of the second round and she was like, nah, I want a fucking third, I was like, you're a fucking psychopath and I love it. Like, that was just absolutely awesome. Like, to see her have that drive and that want, like, no, we're gonna fucking do this. We're gonna finish this fight.
Dude, she's so funny right now. She loves you. She's a huge fan of you. Like she like puts her head down and she like kind of does this like, it's really weird. She like bends her back a certain way and she's like throwing her jab looks so fucking smooth though. I thought her jab in the second round was like the flipped of the fight. She was just like really knocking it through.
Oh yeah, she was killing it. Like, I want to say it was in the second that Claire couldn't do shit about her jab, was just eating it all day. Yeah. It was like it was beautiful.
And then the third round is when actually Claire kind of got on her at the beginning, like the first 30 seconds, a minute of the round. She was on top, and then she did the flip. She did a little bit of jits. You know, maybe jiu-jitsu wins fights after all. And she like almost got the submission multiple times, and like Dana was going crazy. So it was sick. I thought the fight was awesome. I'm so pumped for her. Yeah, I kind of, like I said, I met her right before the show, and I think she will. I think she's gonna like kind of be the star of the show. That's the rumors I've been hearing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see what comes of the show. I've been watching every single episode so far, so it's awesome to watch.
There we go. Mic Cuddles, episode 10 with Gillian the Savage Robertson.
Digits.
Crazy. Like, it'll be 50 before you know it. Just time flies. It flies. Appreciate Hannah Goldy. Got to make sure her versus Molly Mccann. It's one of the featured female fights of the summer after this weekend, after we see Joanna and Valentina. Cannot wait to see Goldy versus McCann. Hopefully we'll get Gillian on a little short notice. Hopefully we'll we might have to have a special Mic Cuddles when, Macy, don't want to call it out there. Maybe Macy gets, a sore rib and they need someone to
get my opportunity
versus Jessica. Oh gosh. Well, crazy. Well, we'll talk to you soon, G. You're the best. And we're done. We'll have that $18,000 outro.